Jeeja Ghosh was flying on an aircraft, SpiceJet. We'll ask her to tell you in her own words how she was offloaded. As you can make out, she's a very capable, competent person. She's traveled all across the world. She's done her MA from Leeds, isn't it?
Yeah.
Leeds University. She's the chair of many boards. She's on the board of many institutions. Widely traveled person. But Jet Airways, one air hostess on SpiceJet, one air hostess on SpiceJet decided that there was some saliva coming out from the corner of her mouth, and she couldn't understand perhaps what Jeeja was telling her. And being uneducated in disability, basically being very backward in disability, she decided that the time had come to take her off the aircraft, which they did. The pilot didn't even come to see her. The pilot didn't even think it was, up to him, because he takes the decision to take a person off the aircraft. Didn't bother, and left it to an untrained air hostess who didn't understand disability and who doesn't understand cerebral palsy at all. That is perfectly normal. And they took her off the aircraft. And it was very traumatic for her. It's very traumatic, she'll tell you in her own words. And the letter she gave us about the trauma she underwent, we actually gave to the court, Jeeja.
Yeah.
And I think it hit home in the sense that the judge could understand, the feelings of a person who is offloaded, And Jeeja's story is not just a story of Jeeja, it's a story of many, many persons. Many women have been humiliated by these carriers. And even by ground staff, but mainly by carriers. Humiliated, insulted, made to take off their jeans when they have prosthetic limbs, made to get out of their wheelchairs. Then they are carried like babies on board. So Jeeja's case is a historic case. I'm not saying that it will stop, but it will bring awareness to the airlines that this kind of practice is not accepted. It's not that they'll change in their minds, it's just that they'll be afraid that in future there'll be litigation against them and so on. It's the fear of the stick really in India which works. It's not as if after this judgment they'll become very enlightened and want to do something. It's not like that. So it will change things quite a bit, I think, in India. There's a report, isn't it? There's a report prepared by the government. The Ashok Kumar report, yes. I was searching for the word. The Ashok Kumar report, which had government officials, it had private airlines like Jet Airways and Indigo. And that committee made sweeping recommendations, which this government did not accept. Sweeping recommendations. From the time you reach the airport outside, as you get out of your car, there's a help desk. There should be a kiosk where you can say, okay, listen, I need help. I'm a differently abled person. I need help. And then they start help from. Then there's an internet service. So even before you come to the airport, you indicate what your needs are. You do your bookings and so on. And then there's a whole protocol. When you go for checking in, you get assistance. When you go through security, how should security treat you? And then the boarding of the plane, and the ambulance, and so on and so forth. The ambulance, just to give you an example, the ambulance are basically paid for by the airline, right? It's bought by the Airport Authority of India. But if a person comes and wants to use the ambulance, the airline has to pay. So if the airline has to pay, they don't want to pay. We can save the money rather than waste money. So then they will do all kinds of funny things and force you to get up without an ambulance. So the report was that the airport will buy the ambulance, But they will charge you on a monthly basis, whether you use it or don't use it. So there'll be an incentive for the airlines to start using it because any case they are paying. And very sweeping changes regarding frisking, regarding prosthetic limbs. You don't have to now anymore take off your prosthetic limb and put it in the X-ray, which is hugely humiliating, you know. Then you have guide dogs for blind persons. So it's incredible, you know, including a place to poo for the blind dog. Okay, so it's a huge change in attitude, no? From our very, what do you say? I can't even say paternalistic attitude. It's a cruel attitude. You treat a person as a lump of, you know, just take him, put him, take him, put him. So anyway, that's the background. I'm cutting it short because I just wanted to give you a background, but Jeeja will now tell you of her experience and how she feels about the case. And she has persevered for a very, very long time. And I think
This happened in February 2012.
speak loud.
So she says this happened in February 2012.
I was traveling to Goa
She was traveling to Goa
to attend an international conference.
when she was traveling to Goa to attend an international conference.
And I checked in. I asked for assistance.
She checked in and asked for an attendant.
Yeah. So I was given a boarding pass.
Louder. Speak into the mic louder.
She checked in and asked for an attendant
And
a boarding pass.
I was given a boarding.
She was given a boarding pass.
And then I sat down.
And she sat down.
After a while, one of the air hostess came and told me that you have to come with me.
After a while, an air hostess came and told her to come with her.
I said, why?
She asked her why,
There was no answer.
and she didn't give any answer. She didn't give any response to that.
So I was taken off.
She was taken off the flight,
And then they took me to the airport office
and she was taken off the flight and taken to the airport office,
where I demanded an explanation.
She demanded an explanation from them.
Yeah, and I wanted them to write on paper why they had offloaded me.
And she demanded them to write on a piece of paper why they had unloaded her.
But they refused.
But they refused to do that.
Yeah. Then I called up my office and I spoke to my senior.
Then she called up her office and spoke to her senior.
She also tried talking to them.
She tried to
Talk to them.
She tried to talk to them. Her senior tried to talk to them,
But they won't listen.
but they wouldn't listen.
And then I told them, how do I go home now?
And then she asked them, how do I go home now?
They said, okay, we will drop you.
So they said that, okay, we will drop you.
They dropped me back And the next day they said, you can come on the next day.
They dropped her back home and then they said that you can come the next day.
Yeah, but I was so traumatized by the whole incident that I couldn't go.
But she was too traumatized by the entire incident, so she couldn't go the next day.
And it was so humiliating.
It was very
humiliating.
It was very humiliating experience for her.
As if I was something. I'd done something wrong.
As though she had done something wrong.
Being taken off the flight.
Being taken off the flight.
And after that, NDTV got to know.
And after the incident, NDTV came to know of this.
Yeah, because NDTV came and they covered the incident.
Then NDTV came and covered the entire incident.
Yeah. Then there were lot of media.
Then there was
Lot of media covered it, and the next day they came and gave a template apology. Apology letter.
So then there was a lot of media coverage and they issued an apology letter.
Yeah, but which I don't consider.
But she doesn't consider the apology letter.
Yeah. They can't do that.
They can't do that.
So after that we consulted HRLN. We consulted our lawyer, our office lawyer, Kolkata.
Then they contacted HRLN there.
Yeah. And then we were doubting whether to go to the High Court or the Supreme Court.
Then they were doubting whether to go approach the Supreme Court or the High Court.
Colin then said, because this has a national appeal.
Then Colin entered because this has like a national appeal.
He said better to file a case in the Supreme Court.
Colin said it was better to file the case in the Supreme Court.
We filed the case.
So then they filed the case in the Supreme Court.
If they ask me, I can answer.
Any questions for her she would like to ask? She would like to answer any questions that you may have.
Was it the first incident of discrimination that you faced?
No. We face discrimination all the time. But this was a major job.
So they face incidents like this all the time, but this was like a major
what should I say?
She used the word dark.
Very unnerving.
An unnerving incident of this kind happened to her for the first time.
When did you get to know about this judgment which recently came from the Supreme Court, and how did you feel about it?
I think it came out in the 12th May. I got a call from DJ.
The judgment came on the 12th of May and she got a call from DJ.
And soon after that, media started calling up.
So soon after that, the media started calling her up.
Yes. And we were all very happy because we have been waiting for 4 years.
We were all very happy because they've been waiting for this for 4 years.
4 years.
With this petition, did you wanted the system to address only this incident or the issue at a more broader level?
No, I wanted to address the issue at a broader level.
She wanted the issue addressed.
Yeah, compensation was a part, but the whole issue of harassment, because it is not only one airline, it is happening with all the airlines.
Compensation was only a part of it. It's the harassment that is the problem, and it hasn't happened just with one airline, it happens with all the airlines.
And we have been taking up few cases of harassment. Last, I think March.
You've taken a few cases.
Yeah,
So they've taken a few cases of harassment since last March.
March there was an incident in Kolkata where a boy with autism was not allowed to fly.
March there was an incident where a boy with autism was not allowed to fly.
So we made a protest at the airport.
You made a report at the airport.
Protest.
Oh, so they made a protest at the airport regarding this incident.
And we also want to meet the Indian Airlines Authority.
And they wanted to meet with the Indian Airlines Authority.
Yeah, but they won't let us in. They won't
Let you. So they wouldn't let them meet the airport.
They-
The airline
Yeah.
authority.
The airport manager, she was very helpful.
But the airport manager was very helpful.
Yeah, she allowed one of us to go in.
But she allowed, the manager allowed one of them to go in.
And he gave a deputation to the Indian Airlines.
And he gave a deputation to the Indian airline.
Is this discrimination faced only in the airlines system, transport system, or is it faced in the other transport systems?
All over.
All over.
All over. In Calcutta, we have lot of problems with buses. lot of them. So, but we last year, one of our boys was thrown off a bus.
So in Calcutta, they face problems with all kinds of transportation. So last year, one of their boys was thrown off a bus.
So we went to the bus depot. Immediately, we went to the bus depot.
They went to the bus depot immediately after this incident.
But nobody could trace the bus.
But they couldn't trace the bus.
After a few days, some of the bus owners, they visited us.
After some time, a few days, some of the bus owners visited them.
And they asked for apology.
And they offered an apology.
But we said we want to work with you.
But they said that we want to work with you.
From last year, we have been working with them.
So since last year, they have been working with them.
We organized a Rakhi
They organized
celebration where we went to the bus depot and our children tied Rakhi on the bus conductors and drivers.
They've been organizing programs with them. So last year they organized a Rakhi celebration where their children went and tied Rakhi on the wrist of the conductors and the bus drivers.
And from this year, we have started doing more training sessions for the conductors and drivers.
And from this year they've started conducting training with the bus drivers and conductors.
And the feedback we got that there have been some changes.
And the feedback that they got, they see some changes in them.
Yeah. Otherwise, every day we would have some complaint from a parent or a student, and that has reduced.
And the complaints that they receive now are fewer.
Yeah. So that is a positive thing.
That is a positive thing.
Yeah. And we continue to work with them.
And they continue to work with them.
In fact, the good part was when we made this protest at the airport, the bus syndicate people also joined us.
So when in March they made the protest at the airport, the bus syndicate also joined them for their protest.
Yeah. Which was very encouraging for us.
And it was a very encouraging thing for them.
So through the entire discussion that we have had with you and the initiative that we put with the bus drivers association also, so it tells that, of course, so from the infrastructure to the attitude, there's a lot of gap.
Yeah.
Sensitizing, being sensitive towards the disabled. So you like to say anything about that?
It's very interlinked.
It's very interlinked.
If you don't change the attitude, then you are not sensitive enough to change. Like this judgment, because of the judge's forward-looking attitude, because of his understanding of disability, you could give such a judgment. Not all people have that understanding.
So she says that you have to change the attitude towards these problems to bring about a change, because like this judgment was because of the forward-looking attitude of the judge, the progressive attitude of the judge.
While you travel to other countries, what is the difference of discrimination between India and other countries?
I have lived in the UK for almost 1 year.
She's lived in the United Kingdom for almost a year.
Yeah, but I was so independent.
But she was very independent.
I could go anywhere. I could travel by coach. I could travel by train.
She could travel anywhere she liked. She could travel with the train as well.
And nobody really bothered what you are, how you talk, or how you walk.
Nobody is bothered with how you walk, talk.
But here it is very difficult.
Yeah, India. Yeah, we are changing, but it will take some time.
We are changing, but it will take some time.
What was the reason given by the air hostess and the airlines?
Yeah, according to them, I had saliva. I was farting from the mouth. I had blood.
She says that according to them, she had saliva coming out of her mouth and there was some blood.
I just want to add about the recent debate of the change in the name.
She wants to debate the debate around the change in name.
Yeah. According to the Prime Minister, people with disabilities are to be called divyang.
According to the Prime Minister, the people with differently able people are to be called divyang,
Not viklang,
not viklang.
which is rubbish.
which is rubbish.
That's rubbish. And we are all protesting against this change. No.
Protesting against this change.
Yeah.
Divyang.
Perhaps you could elaborate the difference between the two words,
Yeah.
divyang and viklang.
Divyang is divine.
Divine.
Something is divine.
Divyang, that is something that is divine.
Viklang is you have an impairment.
Viklang is when you have an impairment.
So how do you find it rubbish? Exactly.
We are not divine. We need divine. If we are divine, then we are not human.
We are not divine. If we are divine, then we are not human.
No, if we are not human, we have no rights.
And if we are not human, we don't have any rights.
Because this is Father segregating difference. We are talking about inclusion, but this will lead to segregation.
So change in terminology is further going to degrade the situation.
Yeah.
There are no more questions, and let us thank Jeeja for coming by and speaking to us and enlightening us about the issue. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you.